Hey everybody. So it's been a while since I've done a hockey memorabilia video because I haven't gotten anything new all that recently until the other day. Something came in the mail from a subscriber that was really cool, and I wanted to show off here on video and talk about a little bit. And I want to give a big thank you to Gerry. You guys see him in the chat. He's a channel member. He's a subscriber now. I was actually just on his podcast this past weekend called It's Another Sunday Podcast, and he sent me some awesome like 9x6 Boston Bruins cards from the 1995, I believe they're from. And I wanted to show them out on here and just kind of show you guys what I got, because these are really cool. And again, I want to give a big thank you to Gerry for this awesome gift. It's so cool to get stuff like this, and these are really cool. So as you can see, they're pretty good size. They're 9x6s, and obviously this is Ray Bourque, captain of the team at the time, one of the greatest defensemen ever to play in the NHL. And there's a bunch of different ones of classic Bruins players. Not all from the 90s, some from older than that, but here's Blaine Locker, and that Blaine Locker is an interesting story. He actually had a very solid rookie season in 1995 with the Bruins, and then very quickly faded out after that and was never really heard from again. But he did play 35 games his rookie year and was put up some solid numbers. Really bad numbers in year number 2, and that was pretty much it for him ever in the NHL. But Blaine Locker there. Here's an absolute legend, Gerry Cheevers. Obviously, Bruins goaltender back in the 60s and 70s. Phenomenal career, Stanley Cup winning goaltender. Very famous for his mask with the stitch marks on it. Obviously, that's one of those legendary masks of early goaltenders wearing them. So just really cool one there. Terry O'Reilly, one of my favorite Bruins of all time. Very nasty player who could also score a lot as well. Put up some really good numbers. You know, he had over 600 career points and over 2,000 career penalty minutes. He was a Tasmanian devil out there for Boston, and very fun player back in the day. Awesome Bruin. Rick Middleton, one of the most underrated Boston Bruins, I think, of all time is Rick Middleton. Played, just after the early 70s era where the Bruins won the Cup in 70 and 72, so he missed those Cup-winning teams. But he came in the late 70s and played through the 80s and was a really good player for the Boston Bruins. Great passer. Incredible assists, man. He had 496 career assists in the regular season, another 55 assists in the playoffs in his career. Almost 900 career points. He just fell a couple points high of short of 900 career points. But a really underrated player for a long time in Boston. Adam Oates. Adam Oates is a legend, had a very good NHL career. Obviously played for the Bruins, played for the Blues, played for the Capitals, ended up playing for a few different teams. But again, another tremendous assist man. Great setup guy, one of the best passers in NHL history. This was, fairly early in his career in 1995. He still had a long way to go. But even at this point in his career, he already had 238 assists and 337 points. So, great guy to set you up. And a lot of players scored goals because Adam Oates passed it to him. Everyone knows who this is. Cam Neely, current president of the Boston Bruins, but longtime player for them. Incredibly good power forward, kind of the poster child of the power forward and, what that role is in the NHL. Somebody who could hit and fight while also put up a ton of goals, play really well in front of the net, big body, physical and offense, just that kind of player. Really kind of is one of the most known power forwards in NHL history. Legendary player. And unfortunately, his career was cut short because of injuries. But when he was in his prime, Cam Neely was one of the best Bruins to ever do it. Going back to a classic here, Phil Esposito, obviously late 60s through the mid 70s, played for the Bruins. One of the best goal scorers in Boston Bruins history. Put up an enormous amount of points. With the Bruins, won 2 Stanley Cups, was on the 1970 team and the 1972 team, and was a huge, huge reason why that the big bad Bruins of the late 60s and early 70s were so good. Esposito was one of their best players and arguably their best, not arguably, their best goal scorer. So, legend there. Speaking of legends, it doesn't get any more legendary than number 4, Bobby Orr, the greatest defenseman of all time. The reason defensemen put up points in the NHL started with this guy. Before that, you never really saw D-men involved offensively the way that they are today. Bobby Orr changed that and created the modern offensive defenseman. He was great defensively too, but the sheer amount of points that he put up was something that was absolutely never seen before from a defenseman in the NHL up until that point. One of the all-time greatest players to ever play the game of hockey. Unfortunately, career cut short because of injuries. He had really bad knees throughout his career. And he didn't end up playing that long. He only played 10 seasons in the NHL, or 11. Well, last season doesn't even really count because he missed so much time. But he still had 888 points, only playing from 1966 to 76. And if he had played a full career, 14, 15, 16 years, he would have easily been over 1,500 career points as a defenseman. So, or at least, 1,500 if he played a long career, but he would have at least had 1,200 career points easy. So, just incredible career for Bobby Orr, and, everyone knows everyone knows Bobby Orr. You don't watch hockey if you don't know Bobby Orr. And the last one, going way back, Eddie Shore, one of the earliest legendary players from NHL history. He played from the mid-20s all the way through 1940. Obviously, a hard-nosed defenseman for the Boston Bruins. Was not afraid to get in fights. Was not afraid to go to the penalty box. Also, a pretty good offensive player as well. He had 279 career points. And for back then, that was big points for a defenseman as well. Even, going back to the 20s and 30s, what defensemen could do offensively was very, very limited compared to what they could do when Bobby Orr got there. And then Bobby Orr revolutionized the game beyond that into really creating offensive defensemen who could put up 100 points a season. That was unheard of back in the before Bobby Orr. So, for the times that he played in, he put up 279 points. That's pretty good. And also over 1,000 penalty minutes as well. So those are the cards that Gerry sent me, and I want to give a big thank you to him again for that. And I just thought they'd be cool to kind of show on here because these are really, really awesome pieces of NHL history. And again, these are from the mid-90s, but you've got players from all different generations there. All the way back to Eddie Shore, through the big bad Bruins, through the late 70s, 80s teams, and obviously into the 90s. And Boston has, as an original 6 team, has had a lot of legendary players play for them. So thought it would be cool to show that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon, merchandise store, donation link, and memberships are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.